I start off everybody's interview with 10 questions, more or less. They're rapid fire questions. You don't know what they are before, but they're basically meant to be just answered off the top of your head.
Okay.
You ready?
Rapid fire. That sounds kind of scary.
First thing you want to do post quarantine?
First thing I want to do is hug the people that I love.
Oh, amen to that.
Hmm.
Favorite part of job?
The moment I walk into my store.
Aw. Worst part of your job?
This quarantine.
Ugh. Three things you're grateful for.
Oh my gosh. I have so many more than three things.
You can name off more.
Um, my family, first and foremost. Um, my store. And I put that with my customers too, because I'm really grateful for them, and my employees, because we wouldn't still be going through this quarantine without my employees.
Good answers. First thing you do in the morning?
I get on my phone and talk to those that I can't be close to right now.
Favorite IG accounts?
Oh my gosh. Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not super good about interacting on Instagram. I mostly post um,
Do you lurk?
but no, I really don't. I'm not a lurker. I mean, I'm not like most where I spend hours looking at everybody's things. I mostly post and interact with the people that interact with me, but I don't really do a lot of lurking. So I wish I could share some fantastic Instagram accounts with you, but I
Well,
really
Patina
I
Farms for sure.
Petite, yes, absolutely. You know what? Honestly, her animals every morning and every night make me so happy. And being that I have such a good connection with Brooke, and being that I've been to the farm so many times, and she's been actually, Brooke was one of my first customers,
Really?
believe it or not. She
It's
was.
the video
And
of her them walking their goats to go get fed, and oh my
mhm,
god, I die. I want to go there
I
so
know,
bad.
I know. Well, one day you shall.
Ugh.
It's pretty magical.
I mean, it looks magic. I mean, both of there because I follow Lennon. Is it Velvet and Lennon?
Yeah.
I follow that one as well. It's like,
So Brooke was one of the first bloggers to ever write about me. I guess now about 12 years ago, she did a whole blog post about my grain sack creations and me doing antique shows. And she and Steve would come and visit me when I did shows, and they would buy a lot for their projects. And that's how we kind of connected. Was she was one of my very first customers and brought a lot of validation to what I was doing in the design world with not only my grain sacks, but also what I was doing with the antiques that I was curating from around the world.
your aesthetics are very close.
Yeah. So we're very like-minded in a lot of ways. She's a
Uh,
special friend.
okay, the next question. I don't know if you even watch, but your favorite Netflix shows.
Oh, I actually do. Actually, right now, Ozark.
The best. Are you on the first season or are you on the
Hmm.
last one? The
I'm
new
on
one.
season 3.
Oh my god. It's
Yes.
Darlene.
Don't spoil anything for me.
Darlene is all I'm going to say. Darlene.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
um, okay, so I know you're in the store. I want to ask you a couple questions and I'm going to have you take people through because a lot of people, even though people follow me in stories and people follow you in stories, I feel like a lot of people still don't catch it and they haven't had a chance to see the new magical space that you have.
Yeah.
So, first, give a little bit of retail background for people that don't know you and like how you started, what you're doing now, like just your whole thing.
Well, I don't have any retail background at all. Up until um, 12 years ago, when I was faced with, I've been a designer now for over 23, 24 years. And I was self-taught. I actually didn't even graduate from high school. I
Me
took
neither.
my GED in the 11th grade. Yay. And my mom said you can graduate with a GED as long as you go to college. Well, I went to college for about 5 minutes. And then I said to her, I don't want to do this. So I actually fell into being a police dispatcher early on after getting out of high school. And I was a dispatcher for 11 years. And during that time, I was helping family and friends with design work. And I I went through kind of a very stressful period of my life, and I started curating these or finding these grain sacks. And I brought in these grain sacks and started bringing them over from Europe. And I started making pillows and furniture and accessories and handbags and all kinds of things. Everything that I could possibly come up with, I made from grain sacks. And they were from Germany and from France. And from there, my ex-husband and I had gone through a financial time in our life that was not so pleasant. And I just looked at him one day during the recession and I said, you know what? I think I need to open a store. And he was in agreement with me, and many were not. And it was 2010, and I opened up my store with literally the last bit of money that I had in my bank account and took a major leap of faith, but I believed in it. And before that, I had just had like booths in antique malls, and in an antique mall, and I had traveled and done antique shows. So my first retail store was almost 10 years ago, and it's in the same center where my store is now. And it was 1,000 square feet. And for the first year, I too was an antique mall. And then after a year of that, I just decided to take over by myself and just make it all my own. And
Oh,
I
you had other
did.
people in there with you before, at the first?
I did. The very beginning, I had some other dealers that were with me.
Interesting. I had no idea.
So, yeah. So I owned it, but then we had other dealers that were inside of there with me, and so it just didn't end up working out, and I ended up just like it was losing its aesthetic. Like the front and the back of the store was all me,
Yeah.
and then in the middle was other dealers. And as great as they were, the aesthetic was getting lost. So decided just to do it all on my own. And after 3.5 years building the business, and it gradually built and built, and I shared on my own Instagram recently that there were months that I had to make decisions. Do I pay my mortgage or do I pay my rent? And I paid my rent because I knew that I could keep feeding my children if I paid my rent. So those were hard times, and I never gave up, and I just kept moving forward and kept doing everything I could, and developed even more of a following and more of a customer base. And those same customers are with me today, and it's pretty magical for me.
So
And I
now
have,
you, not only with the retail space, you also are working on product development as well as you have a big interior design business.
I do. Product development wise, I'm always looking for different ways to build the business and kind of give it more of my own name, my own designs, finding different artisans to make furnishings for me. And then as far as design business, I'm at the point in my career that I am quite selective of who I work with. Just after years of doing it, you just realize the type of people that you want to work with. And when you're working that close with, you know, doing people's homes, you want to be sure that you are working with people that you can really, have a good, what's the word for it?
Connection.
Good connection with. It's so important. Otherwise, the house is never going to come out the way that you want it to.
Yeah.
So I've been very fortunate over the last few years to have quite a few clients that have actually become my friends.
That's great.
You know,
I kind of feel
working
the
with
same
them.
way.
Yeah.
So obviously we've been closed for we went from closing your store to doing the store opening. How has this
Yeah.
affected your business? Are you still able to do outside business without having the doors open to the store?
So, as you know, the day that we were moving, we were told by property management that we could move into the new store, but we were going to be shut down for at least a month, the whole center. And it was like a mad dash. The whole team just got everything in here. And as you know, you came here and you helped, and we got as much done as we possibly could. Um, Business life just kind of shut down. And so it's just so strange because of doing something. I've waited so long to have this store. Like, It's taken a long time to get in here, and I worked so hard, and it just was very anticlimactic, and to say the least. Um, and it's funny, I was standing here the other day and I was talking to, I believe it was my mom or my photographers, and I was saying that I feel like the soul of my store is missing right now because my customers aren't here.
Yeah.
Like, the heart is me, but the soul is my customers. But what's been so amazing is that I have taken this boat and I've gone in a different direction. I've always had a website, and I've always had, my employees working on it over the years. And over the last year, we've put a lot of energy, a lot of money, and a lot of time into it. And I'm so grateful for that right now, because that is keeping my customers connected to the store.
Yeah.
It's through Instagram. It's I've just been talking to my customers. I've been keeping it real. And, for the first, like, I feel like in Instagram, we all, especially, like, you look at people and everybody, looks perfect hair, perfect makeup, the eyelashes, the nails, all that stuff. And I just decided when this all happened, forget it. You know what? This is a real time. This is where we're all in the same boat. And just for me, it's just been about taking that connection off of the floor of the showroom to the Instagram and talking to my customers, showing them what I'm doing with my kids and how I'm going through this quarantine, what it's like for my mom to walk in the door, somebody who's been incredibly supportive of me over the years, and not being able to hug her when she walked in the door.
Yeah.
So.
I have to say, you, out of everybody that I follow, that I know, you've been so raw and so vulnerable. And it's like, I've always said that. And it's like, you, I feel like, have done such a good job bridging your connection with your customers through Instagram. It's been beautiful to see. Because I got to say, like, sister, you've been raw.
I know. And I cry easily. Ask anyone that knows me. I cry easily. So even now, more so, a lot of crying's been happening.
Yeah.
But business has changed. And, we've had to, like, we're taking turns coming in and packing up shipments. Actually, Amy's here now, and she's got a mask on and gloves, and she's packing up shipments. And we've been doing home deliveries to all of our local customers. And the messages that I'm receiving from people, just, I cry probably 20 times a day.
That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely, I think it's, one thing it's taught me, I feel like, is patience and being present. And I'm sure for you, it's like, the universe kind of is forcing everyone to be present. And I think that the connections are going to be only deeper from this point on.
I believe so. I was thinking about it this morning when I was blow drying my hair. We are all kind of on Noah's Ark right now. The rich, the poor, the middle class, all of us. We're all in our own struggles for kind of the first time in all of our lifetimes. I used to listen to my grandma talk about the Depression and what that was like for her, and I had no concept. And I don't believe that we're going into a depression, but you get little pieces of it, and you kind of, you start to understand. And I was talking to someone yesterday, and I said, I think that this time is actually as a mother of 3, this is an important time for our children, because my children have kind of grown up, even though we've gone through our hard financial times, they've had quite privileged lives and never really wanted or needed for anything, one way or another. We were able to give it to them. And now they're saying that it's not always so easy to get a gallon of milk or a dozen of eggs or a loaf of bread. And mom's having to go to two or three different markets to get the things that we need. Yeah. And I think it's important for them. And I really hope that our children don't ever forget this time, because in life, it'll help them to work harder.
Well, you know what it reminds me of a lot? I said this to Dave the other night. It's like, as I'm washing out Ziploc bags, which I'm
Hmm.
sorry, I realize how incredibly wasteful. It's like, oh, just take it out and toss it. And I still remember my mom, and she's still to this day, and she's not on here right now, but it's like when she went through her divorce, like she literally had to scrimp and save, and the budget was so tight. And
Yeah.
I just remember her budget meals, beef stroganoff, chicken chow mein, like uh,
Hamburger Helper.
Hamburger Helper. I so and it's like that is now all of a sudden what I'm kind of equating to, because we're all, like you said, on level playing field, but
Hmm.
not knowing when this is ending and not knowing when my income starts back up again. It's like all of a sudden, like I said, like Ziploc bags, we are cleaning those things out. That, and I don't
Hmm.
want to have to go to a store and get any more.
Yeah, Amy said to me yesterday, she goes, I actually remember my grandma who would like save her grease and she would save the tinfoil. And she's like, I didn't really understand it at the time. And she's like, I'm not doing that, but like I get it. Like I'm like getting all of this.
Yeah.
And I too, like my mom was divorced and a single mother, and I started working when I was 13 years old. So you do what you can for your family, and we all are working hard together. And like I told Amy yesterday, I'm going to start sending my kids on those home deliveries, and she's like, my kids will help too. So it's like, we're all coming together and we're all working together to get through this because we're all kind of fighting our own little wars.
Yeah. How are you keeping a sense of normalcy during all this for both yourself, and you've, like you said just a couple seconds ago, you've got three daughters that, how are you keeping that, when everything in life does not feel normal, how are you doing that?
Um, well, I would say that like by still coming to the store almost every day, and that's kind of my sense of normalcy is walking in here because I don't take a lot of time off, and being here is such a source of happiness for me. Taking my walks, I'm trying to be real good about that. Making my kids dinner every night, they're loving that because honestly, over the last 3 years, I have not been the best about cooking meals at night because I've been so busy and so torn in so many directions. So I think that that's the one thing I will tell you, that when we go back to normalcy, to like the real normalcy, that I am absolutely going to be better about the meals and cooking for them, because I think they forgot that mom actually is a very good cook. And I've even forgotten that I'm a good cook. And so it's been fun for me to play in the kitchen again, and that's been inspiring for me. And I know the girls are appreciating it, although I'm missing my oldest a lot.
Yeah, because Bree's living in an apartment in Hollywood, right?
She's with her boyfriend a lot.
Have
So
you
yeah,
seen
I mean,
her?
no, today I get to see her.
Oh, good. Look, you're gonna start crying. um, what are you doing? Okay, well, go back to the story. So, what does your day to day look like now versus what it looked like 3 weeks ago?
Well, wow, it's a lot different. I'm not sleeping super well, so I wake up and then usually fall back to sleep, but have my coffee every morning, do what I need to do on Instagram. Um, the difference is I'm not rushed. I'm not feeling like the emails are coming in and I have this to get done. Like for me, every day was crunch time. Like from the moment I woke up until the end of my day, I felt like I was just running around. And now my day to day is, oh, I guess I can go on a walk later. I can do that later. You feel like no sense of what day it even is.
Yeah,
So it's a lot different than what it was 3 weeks ago. A lot different.
it will be back to running very soon.
Mhm.
Um, how are you staying calm and grounded?
Mm, friends, just friends and family. My mom.
Does your mom do Zoom? Are you guys doing Zoom talks or FaceTime?
No, my mom is really technologically challenged.
As
And
my mom
actually,
is.
the poor thing, she lost her internet the other day, so she hasn't even been able to really um, like get on Facebook or Instagram or anything with me. But and then Amy and I FaceTime every morning. If we were to video our FaceTime sessions, you all would be in stitches.
If Amy's right there,
Because
bring her in. I want Amy to say hi.
Amy, will you say hi? Come here. Come here. Just from 6 feet away.
Come on, Amy.
Okay, I'm all like.
Hi, Amy. Thank you.
So
funny.
yeah, we have some pretty funny talks in the mornings. So
okay, you answered one of the questions about the, like, you know, you started to talk a little bit about the message of hope and how, so go into that a little bit about your message of hope, because you kind of touched on a little bit, and it was part of what you did in that stories that day that was just like so raw, and like where your hope is coming from.
Well, I think, you know, after going through the things I've been through in my life over the last 12 years, I think the one thing that I know the one thing that I've learned is that you can't lose hope. When you lose hope, you lose everything. And yes, I have moments and I have days where I lose hope. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm just filled with hope because I know better. It's not true. You start to doubt, but I know how important it is to keep hope, because I know that there's a reason for all of this. And if there's one thing that I think we all can say is, when we look back at the journey of our lives, it didn't make sense while you're going through it. But then after you get to the other side of it, you realize why you had to go through that. And I, especially over the last couple of years, have realized why I've had to go through so many of the things I went through in my life. It was to bring me to where I am today.
Yeah,
and to be surrounded by who's surrounding me. And you know, there is a good reason for why we are going through this horrible time. And I know we are all going to come out of this much stronger. And it's taught me, especially this past week with like our internet sales and everything, that like business is always evolving. You can't just stay status quo. You can't, like, I've never even had a business plan. And now I first of all, I'm a big planner, but don't believe that businesses necessarily should always have a plan, because things happen in the economy and things happen with disease in the world, or who knows. And you always have to just roll with it and dig deep inside and go, okay, I'm not gonna drown from this. I'm actually going to swim. And I don't know where it's taking me, but I'm going to keep swimming. And that's just, if you don't have hope that you're going to get through it, you're not going to keep swimming.
I had said, and you know this from what I've gone through in my professional, like, I had stores at Fred Siegel, and the Northridge earthquake came, and I lost him, and then I moved up, and you know, I ended up being a partner at Sweet XO, and we all know what happened with that. And like every little obstacle or big obstacle the universe has put in my path, I've understood. Now I understood. I can't say always, but I've learned not to fight it. And I've learned that it somewhere buried in there is a message. And I'm learning for the first time, it's taken 54 years. Like, I'm learning to like step back, be calm enough to like take in what's happening and hopefully learn. And it goes back to, like, it's always been my favorite saying is, change is good. And
change is super good. It
true.
Is change to me. I used to fear it so much, and I will never fear it again, because I realize that change can bring you so many good things.
Yeah. And I think if you fight it, honestly, I think the people that fight it tooth and nail and they want it to go back to normal don't realize our normal 3 weeks ago is never going to be our normal again. And it's like the people that will fight it and continue to not saying accept it, but go with the flow and jump in and swim and see where the current takes you, because if not, you're going to be fighting it night and day. And it's like, you know, not to submit, but at some point you kind of got to submit to this is sort of like this is what's happening right now.
Yeah, exactly. And it is what it is, and there's nothing we can do about it. We just have to roll with it.
Roll with the punches.
Mm-hmm.
So now I want you to take us to the store because I know a lot of people.
Oh.
Because I take people through my story, your story on my stories. You do, but I think because they pass in 24 hours, you don't really get a chance. And what's going to happen for everybody who's watching this is that little bit of it's going to go on Instagram TV, and then the whole interview will go up onto the YouTube channel after it's been edited and whatnot. I'm not
Okay.
editing it, but you know.
Okay. All right. So I'll take you on a little tour.
Do you want to start at the front?
Yeah. So wait, I have to figure out how to do this. Hold
Turn
on.
the camera around.
Okay.
There you go.
So I'm going to just I'm actually going to walk you through the front doors. We've got packing stuff all over because we've had a lot of stuff going on the internet. So welcome to my beautiful mess.
Show them a ground, since they're right there, the chair. You've got to explain to people that don't know what a grain sack is, and then kind of like what you've done with it.
Okay, so these are antique German grain sacks, and this is my beginning. So these were used in Germany and in France. The farmers would use them to hold their grains, and they would take them to the mills, and they would have their flour milled. And the way that they knew that it was their sack and their flour was by the markings on the sack. So the more wealthy the farmer, the more adorned the sack. Like this one has a beautiful little horse on it. A lot of them are handmade. I still have a very large collection. I have people that buy these from me all the time, and I do ottomans and working on bringing my purses back. But you'll see them sprinkled throughout the store. Like I said,
I just wanted people to see it because I know not everybody knows what a grain sack is. So that was a great.
Yeah. So here's a little ottoman that I do with. These are old French crates. So take you a little tour.
This is my favorite part of the store. I will tell you that.
Yes. This is actually an old refrigerator that I got years ago. And we've had a lot of fun with that, Michelle, right?
Yeah. Reinvented 3 times over.
Yeah. We have lots of tabletop in the store. Beautiful art.
I love that print.
That was taken in Malibu. This counter is from Belgium. This is a table that we make here in California. This is our Tucker dining table. These beautiful benches are from Belgium. If I stand back here, you guys can get a kind of a...
I love to see that you've got plants in there now.
I do. We did a photo shoot the other day, so got some plants in there.
So good to see green.
Like I said, a lot of different tabletop. So I mix the old with the new. A lot of old and new in here. And most of my antiques come from Belgium and France. Lots of linens, barware.
Feels like a million years ago since I was there.
I know.
It's weird.
Hopefully I'm not making anyone dizzy with my video. We carry Verellen in the store, which is a company that originated in Belgium, and now it's made also in North Carolina. So we are one of their lucky retailers. And here's another moment right here. A lot of vintage pillows along with some new.
That trunk I'm obsessed with.
That's from Belgium. Isn't that cool?
I'm obsessed with that.
Yeah, it's really good. Here's another moment over here. So don't mind the peanuts or the packing stuff that you might see laying around.
That's a good sign.
Yes.
So name the artist of the photography work so people, because his Instagram's pretty amazing as well.
Gregoire Moulin, and he's from France. He's a French photographer, and you can find his Instagram at G Moulin Limited Editions. But on my Instagram, he's tagged on a lot of the artwork.
I think what we're going to do is when this goes to editing, we're going to drop in links so people can see.
Okay, so this table, the wood on this table, I don't know if you can tell, but this is 300-year-old French oak. It's really beautiful. And it has a metal base.
I love that base.
More on the modern side. These chairs do not look like they're comfortable, but they are crazy comfortable. These were also designed in Belgium. I'll kind of show you. So it mixed, my antiques with new. We've got a lot of throw blankets. My store is filled with all of my favorite things. I don't buy it unless it speaks to me. I don't really necessarily follow trends. I buy what I love.
I do love the mix of the modern found object.
So those those are from France. So I love this little moment right here. I say moment because that's what Michelle always calls it.
Moment. Speak.
So we have quite a bit of apothecary, and you'll find a lot of this online too.
And tell them about the space that's just to your left.
So this is going to be our design area. We're waiting on all of our fabric samples that are on their way, but it's going to be going on this wall right here. So we'll be able to work with our clients.
That's not found objects you can customize by fabric and wood choices, and same thing with your hard goods, correct?
Right. We have a lot of different fabrics and finishes to choose from. So our art. And we do have new furniture as well. I love this. This is our tableau cabinet.
I love that piece.
So I'll take you over to the other side. Lots of beautiful custom lighting. All of our lighting is customizable too. This corner back here is a little bit dark because our electricity is not working. So in all areas of the store. Again.
I can't wait till it opens.
This is something for us all to remember.
Damn straight.
Put up a fight for it.
God, I can't get over all the plants. It's killing me. It looks so good.
Thank you.
That's always, as you know, what I've always. Oh, hi, Amy.
Oh, hi, Amy. You just joined.
That's always what I love the most. The green. I think it adds so much.
It totally does. And most everything in the store you will find online. We are going to start working on getting the antiques up online as well. These nudes are from France.
I love seeing the pieces that have been added in after we did the initial.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great to see. I love it.
Every day working a little more.
Looks so good.
Thank you. It's my happy place.
So turn the camera around and tell everybody where they can find you, both social media, your website, give all that information, your location.
Okay, so our new address is 28865 West Agora Road, Agora Hills, California. And on Instagram, you'll find us at Beautiful Mess, just the @ sign and then no A, but Beautiful Mess Home. And our website is www.abeautifulmesshome.com. Sorry to make it so confusing.
Thank you so much for spending time with me, and thank you for taking everybody through the new space.
Aww.
On the
Of course.
final
Thank you
note,
for asking
what is
me.
a favorite quote or saying that you want to end this with?
Oh my goodness, Michelle, you should have given me warning. I have too many to, but You know what? I'd have to say that my favorite one was written by my daughter, Brielle. And it's live your truth. Anything less is a lie.
Love that.
And I'm going to show it to you actually because it's hanging here on the wall.
I love that.
So
that is a perfect way to end it. I love you. Thank you. Thank you.
I love
thank
you too. Thank
And
you. Thank you for all that you do for this store.
Oh, thank you. I love it. I miss it. I can't even tell you how much I miss it.
Well, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep doing more.
Yay.
And one day you're going to say, are you ever going to stop? And I'm going to say, nope.
No, I don't know if I'll ever say that. Everybody that I love and everybody I work with, all are such strong females that have such hustle and heart that to be honest, I don't see any of us stopping, including myself, for a very, very long time.
Yeah, no, we're just gonna ride this little wave and see where it takes us.
Yes. I love you.
I love you too.
I'll see you soon.
Yes, you will. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.